What's up guys? Welcome to another video. Today I will be talking to you about what I expect and what I want the new console from Nintendo to be like. By now you probably already know that Nintendo recently revealed their new console, which is called the Nintendo Switch. So before we start, something I have to say is that I will be comparing the Switch quite a lot to the 3DS and the DS, because I feel like the Switch is a lot more similar to the 3DS and the DS than it is to the Wii U. Also, I've had the most experience with the DS systems compared to the Wii U or something like that. This list are things that I personally expect from the Switch and that haven't yet been released or confirmed or anything, so it's just my personal list. Let's start with number 1. Decent battery life. So one of my worries with this thing is that it will drain quite a bit of battery, because the screen is pretty big, seems to be somewhere between 6 and 8 inches, and doing demanding things like playing intense games will drain the battery. Therefore I really hope Nintendo manages to do something to prevent this. Obviously running out of battery in the middle of a long car ride isn't optimal, and having to charge your device constantly is really annoying. I think though that the dock will charge your device while you game on a big TV or something, but to be honest, most people will probably use it as a portable device more than a TV device, whatever you call it. Number 2. The Switch has to have a higher resolution screen compared to the 3DS. So one of the major flaws of the 3DS is that the screen has such a low resolution, only 800 by 240 or something like that, which means that things will look pretty pixelated. Especially in games where stuff is far away, everything just becomes a mess of black boxes. So far we have seen a bit of gameplay on the Switch, and it seems like this console doesn't suffer from the same low resolution screen as previously mentioned handhelds do. But to be honest, the few seconds of gameplay that we've seen so far are definitely not enough to say whether this will be a problem or not. One of the reasons I still suspect that this may be a problem is because the game seems to run at a fairly low frame rate, meaning that there's a risk that they will end up lowering the resolution to increase the frame rate. Number 3. I really hope that the dock provides additional GPU or CPU power to give a better gaming experience. First of all, I really doubt that the Switch's screen will be full 1080p, therefore I expect the dock to contain some kind of external graphics card for the console, because if you were to play games at 720p or possibly lower on a big 40-inch plus TV, that will obviously look pretty bad in terms of graphics. And we will basically be at the problem we had with the 3DS. Number 4. More games. Now when I say more games, what I basically mean is I expect more and different publishers to release games to the Switch. The reason I hope for this is because I of course want to play different games on the handheld, except for the traditional Mario, Pokemon and Zelda. And secondly, I think that it will drastically increase the numbers of sales. There are many people interested in the Nintendo titles such as Zelda, Pokemon, Mario, etc. But they are not that interested that they think it's worth buying an entire new console just for those games. Therefore they end up buying something like a PS4 instead. But if the Switch can play most of the games that are on the PS4, I believe that most people will end up buying the Switch instead. I'm almost 100% certain it will be like that. If you don't believe me, then take a look at Pokemon Go. Compatibility and accessibility are two of the main reasons why that game became so popular. Number 5. An improved online shop. I will actually make a rant about the current state of the Nintendo eShop in a few days, which will be a lot more comprehensive than this. But let's sum it up like this. Nintendo has made some fantastic games for a really long time now, and why, at least the most popular of those, aren't available on the eShop is beyond my belief. You'd expect to see at least the most common 3DS games. Another thing that can be discussed is the price of the games. To be honest, Nintendo games have always been expensive, but why on earth are digital copies of the games more expensive than the physical copies? This is something that has to change. I mean, if the Switch mainly plays games using cartridges, that will be a huge turnoff for many people who likes to switch, see what I did there, between multiple games. Number 6. Backwards compatibility with at least the 3DS games and hopefully the DS games as well. If you're like me and you still enjoy the 3DS games, it would feel really bad to carry both a 3DS and a Switch just to play those games that you love. Also, the virtual console that we currently have is great, but it still suffers from the same problem. There should be more games. For example, why aren't Pokemon Gold, Silver and Crystal available? Answer me that please. And now for some honorable mentions. I want Bluetooth. One of the annoying parts of the 3DS and the DS is that it doesn't have Bluetooth. I mean, it's a portable device. You really should be able to use wireless headphones with it. Another thing I would like to see is a splittable charger, I'm not sure what it's actually called, so that you can charge the Switch when you're on the go using something like a power bank or a car charger. I know that those already exist for the DS and the 3DS, but they actually void your warranty, so I wouldn't recommend using them. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Now, what do you expect, or what do you hope that the Nintendo Switch will be like? So let me know in the comments below, and I hope to see you in the next video.